Now, 90% of cricket leagues in USA use our solution, and our presence grew to 56 other countries. Now we are officially working with 22 national governing bodies that administer cricket in their respective countries.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the video streaming category. We're actually super excited to be here with Ganesh. He's the CEO of Cricket Clubs, as well as Visu, who's the Chief Strategy and Business Development Executive from Cricket Clubs as well. Gentlemen, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Kyle. Very excited to be here.
Thank you, Kyle. We are very excited to be here.
Why are we having this conversation? We've looked at a lot of companies in the video streaming category. And one of the companies that was really interesting to us that we wanted to add into this conference is what you wouldn't think as a traditional media company, I would argue. You take a different component and you have an angle into video content that I think is what you wouldn't see from the rest of the companies that we've interviewed for this conference, which is actually one of the reasons why I'm excited to have you guys here. You guys have built a platform that I would argue is more part of the sports industry or catering to the sports industry, especially for managing cricket teams and basically as a team manager and as a league to be able to make that process more seamless. But you have a very big component in that, I would say a big feature of your platform is being able to build out video and be able to take content from these games and stream that content in a lot of different places. And you built a lot of features on top of that as well, which is really interesting. And this is from a different look at how, when we think about media, it blends with so many other categories in so many different ways. And from your perspective, it feels like media is becoming more of a feature than it actually is the core product. But the opportunity to grow into the media industry is going to be really interesting coming from the angle and the position that you're in. So I'm actually excited that we're having this conversation and having the opportunity to chat with you gentlemen. Again, thank you for doing this. Before we even get into questions, you have a great visual that shares with us who is Cricket Clubs, and we'll start with that, then we'll get into questions.
Thank you, Kyle, for the great introduction. So at Cricket Clubs, our mission is to make world-class sports technology accessible to every cricket stakeholder. And what we do to make that technology accessible is innovate and just foster the technology development internally to be able to do that for sports vertical, specifically cricket at this point. When you manage cricket as an organizer or a team manager or a player, you have a number of challenges. And that is basically where Cricket Clubs is originated from. The number one problem is engagement issues, where most grassroots cricket leagues, to that point, many sports, not just cricket, but if you are organizing baseball or soccer, you have the same set of challenges where you don't have the digital footprint, and that kind of lowers the engagement with the latest generation players because they need to know where they need to be, what event they're participating in, and they want to be able to share their news, comment on things, and have access to video and so on and so forth. Then comes the organization issues, where a lot of times league organizers don't do a lot of this organization on paper, which is very time consuming and inefficient. It's also very laborious, and most of these organizations are volunteer driven. So it's very difficult to get people put in the time needed to be able to put a great league together. Last but not least is the resource issues. And cricket is played globally. In fact, cricket is the second most popular sport in the world, only after soccer. And even in the US, you see a lot of cricket being played. However, gaining access to either grounds or cricket equipment, apparel is not easy. And so there are a lot of problems in terms of purchasing tools and resources necessary to put a great league. And organizers struggle quite a bit there. And that is exactly what we are trying to tackle head on here. So we actually have products around digital management, which is just organizing your league, getting all the players together, organizing teams, publishing schedules, and so on and so forth. We combine that with ability to live score a match and capture the data coming from that live scoring to be able to track performance at a match level, player level, publishing those player standings and points tables and so on and so forth. Then we take that and combine it with media solutions, capture that live video streams, games that are going on, capture that, and then bring that stream, overlay that with the scores that we are capturing, and stream that over to the platform of media platform of the user's choice. And last but not least is our smart equipment. Now that we have the live scores and the live stream we are able to take that and build some smart products such as LED scoreboards, even a smart camera that we have been working on the last few months here. We also manufacture equipment and customize it for players and leagues. So that kind of is broadly the ecosystem that we play in, and very well appreciated by many cricket organizers, players and teams. And that just shows in our numbers here. We started Cricket Clubs formally organized in 2015, and since then we have seen an exponential growth to a point where we have cricket leagues from 56 countries. We have partnered with ICC associate members. ICC is International Cricket Council, which is the world's cricket organizing body, International Cricket Council, and they have members that are formally associated to them. Over 25% of those members actually work with cricket clubs in organizing their cricket in their regions. And we have presence in all those 5 ICC regions. In the last few years, we have tracked more than 225,000 matches. That amounts to 60 million balls. And we have done over 3,000 live streams. And that's just the scale at which we are able to operate. So from a credibility standpoint, we were very fortunate to be able to associate ourselves with the biggest cricket bodies out there that work with International Cricket Council. Logos on the left are the formal associations we have with ICC bodies. Over 21 is the last count, and we keep adding more and more on a monthly basis here. And we have also were very fortunate to work with some of the big players like Cricket Pakistan and Sri Lanka in terms of providing them electronic scoring and live streaming capabilities. As we talked about, we have digital management solutions basically focused on digitizing organization of the sport. There are primarily 2 categories that we are currently catering to. One is on the league management side. The second is on the academy management side. So the typical things that a league organizer, if I'm organizing a league, I want to be able to first announce that I'm organizing a league, bring all the players and teams, and then publish a schedule, decide the format from those matches that are played, identify umpires, make umpire assignments, and publish the scores and calculate the statistics. Very laborious work. And with cricket clubs, you can basically go our league management, so you can basically set up your league and a tournament in matter of 5 minutes. And you basically load all the players and then trigger communication to everybody that we are organized and we are ready to play. So we basically take the bad portion of organizing out, so you can actually have fun organizing cricket and enjoy cricket. And our motto is to make cricket like never before. And that's basically what we do there. When it comes to academy management, just like any academies, cricket academies are also trying to digitize quite a bit. They have programs and events, and they want to be able to bring players in, take fees from them, and record the programs they have, and be able to manage the day-to-day academy operations. And there is a lot of demand because organizing academy and tying that to the player performance is very important for the coaches to work on player performance improvement. So we were able to put an academy solution that rolled out just before COVID, and we are already able to gain quite a bit of traction. On the live streaming, live scoring and performance tracking, this is a very unique ability that we were able to bring to the market, where you are able to capture the scores of the match that are happening out there. And the lowest common denominator for a cricket match is a ball. And we are able to track what happens at that ball level and be able to stream that scores out to our cloud platform. And once we have score what happened on that specific ball, we are able to then do a whole bunch of performance analytics on top of that, because for that ball we know what match it belongs to, what teams are playing on it, who are the batsmen, who is the bowler, and what exactly happened in that ball. And we are able to combine all that together and be able to publish those performance metrics. And on the right side, various things that we have been working on based on the community feedback to enrich our product in terms of calculating those high performance analytics. From media solutions, which is something that we have innovated quite a bit in the last 3 years. 2017 is when we first introduced our real-time live streams with real-time scores overlaid on them. Since then, we have tremendously improved the product, and we were able to do more than 3,000 live streams so far. We have over 20 overlays that cater from just a score bug on the screen to a full scorecard, batting scorecard, bowling scorecard, and so on and so forth. We added a remote control for these graphic overlays, so the commentators, as they are talking through, commentating on a match are able to pull up a overlay and show it to the audience real time. And that is powerful to be able to engage our players. And now once we do that live streaming of a game, we are able to cut the video, prepare a video, cut the video ball by ball and be able to publish highlights of a match and be able to tie them back to the scorecard where, at the bottom that you open this mobile app and you go to a specific ball and you can actually see what happened in that ball, which is very powerful. And we got great feedback on that. On the equipment side, we have a few things that we are very excited about. This slide specifically talks about our LED scoreboard, where you have players playing in the field, but they don't know where the score is. And because at least at the grassroots level, you don't have access to these big stadiums with scoreboards, we came up with a portable LED scoreboard that directly connects to our Crick Club's cloud and pull down the scores that are happening at that ground. And so anybody can easily turn their head and be able to see where we are in a given match. Last but not least is our custom merchandise, which is to address the resource availability needs that the cricket leagues have. So that's just an overview of everything that we offer to our clientele. Our recent focus has shifted slowly into player engagement and fan engagement. And COVID gave us that opportunity to be able to spend some time there. So we have launched a fantasy cricket app in Q3 of 2020. And that is very exciting because that opens up a whole lot of engagement opportunities for the leagues to bring fans to engage directly on the games that are happening. On the streaming solutions side, we were able to come up with a smart camera that you basically put outside the field, point it to the match, and that captures the video stream and send it directly to the platform of the user's choice, and provide the ability to real-time integrate the scores on it. So players that are not physically sitting in the field can actually be part of the game and continue that engagement, even though they are not physically present. And now that we have that live stream and we are able to integrate that with advanced AI analytics, be able to derive features from those videos and do a level of tagging to identify player performance and manage it better. We are also shifting gear on our Crick Club's mobile app, which we call it as a Generation 3, that is geared towards player and fan. And we are very excited about this development because we have been focused a lot on cricket organizers, and now we are shifting our focus to make player and fan to be the center of our ecosystem. But this just talks about the live streaming solutions we have. On the left side, you see this Crick Streamer, which is a smart camera that you basically point to the field. It captures the video and streams it. And this is for some of the teams that don't want to use their mobile device and want a little bit more formal setting. On the right side, you see an app-based live streaming. Anybody can just take their phone out and point it to the ground, and it captures the video, puts the graphic overlays and streams it out. And now that we have that, we are able to run AI analytics, and we are working on deriving the ball by ball video clips and be able to combine them together to generate match highlights and player highlights and be able to publish them real time into social media. And that is the differentiator that we have. It's not simply streaming. We are able to bring that ecosystem together, combine our scores on the live videos, and be able to process the live videos and generate highlights and other player analytics. And we have been experimenting quite a bit with our AI abilities, where now that we have a live stream of the video, we can, and on that Crick Streamer, we will have enough processing power to be able to deploy machine learning models to identify various aspects on how a player is positioned in a player movement detection, and identify who the player is on the field and be able to make markers on the live video. And lastly, identify ball speed. At what speed is the ball coming, which also gets tagged on that ball. And for us to be able to do all of this effectively, we need a very good quality video, and that is where mobile streaming may not get us to that level. And for those formal organizations that want the next level of maturity, we actually came up with that Crick Streamer product. This basically talks about our academy management. We have our admin dashboard, event management, and coaching and staff management for our academy solutions here. And using our academy management, all programs and facilities can also be managed. That's basically what we wanted to cover from a quick overview of what Crick Clubs is and what we do. And hopefully that gave you a chance to absorb and understand the length and depth of what we do.
It's absolutely incredible what you guys have built. And I want to dive into it because it seems like you're just covering the entire spectrum of managing cricket to giving fans experiences to organizing teams. It's absolutely everything. But before I even jump into that, I'm just curious, is there a backstory about why you started Cricket Clubs?
I myself is a cricket league organizer, organizing a small cricket league in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, that's north of Chicago. We're organizing a small cricket league with the friends around there. And coming from a technology background, we felt there is a great need of technology at the grassroots level of cricket. Right? Then we started building a league management solution to provide league updates, provide statistics to the players, and players can write articles. We can showcase our sponsors, right? Then people started using it and the player engagement grew tremendously. Within 2 years, the league grew 4 times, right? From 4 teams, we grew to 16 teams within 2 years. Then we felt the power of technology at the grassroots level. Then we started giving the same solution to the neighboring leagues, and they started to love it. Then we didn't look back, and myself and Visu, we incorporated this company back in 2015. Now, 90% of cricket leagues in USA use our solution, and our presence grew to 56 other countries. Now we are officially working with 22 national governing bodies that administer cricket in their respective countries. And these countries include Singapore, Malaysia, UAE, Oman, Sweden, and many other. So that's the backstory.
Oh, it's incredible, especially from going from, it was an original problem that you had, and then all of a sudden now you're in 56 countries. It's crazy how things move. If we had a whole entire day, we would go again feature by feature and explore the platform, because I think, again, what I talked about earlier, you've really built out that end-to-end solution for managing cricket, for creating fan experiences. You really actually have gone that far. You've not only at the high level, you have the league management and then the academy management, but you go as far as providing custom or apparel. You go as far as providing actual scoreboards that can sit on the field. You go as far as having, and you talked about what's in your product lineup, the video AI or AI overlay on top of the live stream, so you can provide a variety of different custom or pull a lot of different data from those video streams to streamline that recording process. It's incredible. I'm just curious, is there I'm assuming there's a lot, but is there any features that really resonate with your customer base today?
So we just don't want to limit ourselves to league management. So we want to expand our technology offering to other segments where we can continue to engage the cricket audience. So then we started building a live scoring app where can start scoring while they are on the ground, so that everybody else can follow their game live. Now that is not enough, right? People want to see their action live. Then we started building our live streaming solution where players can see their action live in video, and not only them, anybody in the world can see their action live. And it also helps them improve their performance, and coaches can see their action and provide feedback. So it provides a opportunity for them to improvise their skill set. So then we also started digitizing the cricket academies where they can completely go digital from paper. We also built a fantasy application that can increase the fan engagement. Now we are into a fan engagement app where the fans can be keep connected, and they can post something, they can chat, they can keep track of their favorite players activity.
I feel like not only what you've achieved during this past in 2020, but even the future roadmap, you have so many things that you've already built, so many interesting features that you've recently built, and then there's so many things that are in the lineup. It's exciting to see how your ecosystem expands. But I want to zero in on an aspect, I think a big aspect of your core product offering is you've really gone pretty far lengths in what we've already you've shown in their slides before, is being able to help teams capture but also stream the content of their games. I just want to understand, why was that an important component or aspect of your platform?
I think it's very obvious given where the whole world is heading. I think video content is front and center of everything that we do, and sports industry is not any different. So a few years ago, some of the sports technology was only available for the highest levels of sport, and the games organized by ICC would be live streamed or actually broadcasted. Now everybody has a camera, and you have Facebook, TikTok, and everybody wants to be online. So there is no reason why live streaming should not be accessible to a grassroots level. And that is what we have been focusing on, to be able to accelerate that the technology that is accessible to the international level at the highest level and make it accessible to grassroots level. So streaming gaming content is very important, first and foremost, from a fan engagement standpoint. And a lot of youth actually gets into cricket, and not just cricket, but any sport, and live streaming happens to be a very important factor for them. So it wasn't available a few years ago, and companies like Cricket Clubs basically took that opportunity to make that available. In addition, once we have that live streaming, from a fan engagement standpoint, people want data analytics on top of it. They want to be able to see, how far the ball went, and at what speed the ball came, and at what speed the ball was hit, and so on and so forth. So by able to capture the live stream and derive features from it, we can really generate a lot of very interesting analytics on that can actually engage players or fans at a live streaming level. So that's, I think, fan engagement and analytics that come out of video are very important for the current generation.
Now that you have built up the presence that you have with leagues that probably have never been able to produce content and distribute it in the way before, and I think even on your slides, you have streamed over 3,000 games. This is content that you're not going to see anywhere else. So I'm curious, who owns this content? Is it the teams that own it, or is it part of a part of your platform? And I guess you talked about earlier that you allow the teams to distribute content wherever they'd like. Do you host a lot of this video within your platform and on kind of the team's page, or is this something that's pushed to other platforms like YouTube or other websites, like if the team has an external website, etc.?
I think the ownership of content is very contextual, right, depending on the circumstance. For example, if a cricket league wants sponsorship, and then the sponsor that actually does it can own the content. In other cases, it is Cricket Clubs that owns the content. So it all comes down to the specific context of that. What we focus on is ability for the organizers to be able to monetize on this content. And this is true to both digital management portals and streaming content, right? So you put your website, without a website, you can never go to a sponsor and ask them for sponsorship, because yes, they can sponsor. You can put a banner ad on your portal, or you can tie a banner at a physical ground. But in the field, you don't have a lot of audience coming to that field to see that the promotion for that sponsor. So same thing goes with media content. So we make tools, we make it very easy by providing the tools for organizers to be able to promote their advertisers, so they can actually monetize on not only their digital management portals, but also the live streaming of it. When it comes to turning into sports network that would license content, yes, absolutely. I think that is the direction that we would like to head, given the volume of content that we are able to bring in. So as we build tools and features to make it easy for live streaming, we do expect a lot of content to be generated. And I think keeping that content just with us may not give the best value to that content. So turning that into other channels to be able to promote that content on behalf of league organizers, I think is very powerful. And a lot of people have been asking us for that.
And you said the slides you have, I think, streamed thousands of games, but how much content do you guys actually have today?
We have over 100,000 hours of match highlights so far. And if you just do a quick math, a typical cricket match has 22 players. And we see about 150 to 200 cricket matches scored on our platform. So if you just take a step back and look at live streaming each of those games, if we do 100% of live streaming, you are going to and then break that video into match level highlights, team level highlights, player level highlights, just for wickets, highlights for sixes and fours. You are talking about an incredible amount of data and content, and applying artificial intelligence on top of it and deriving features creates even more content. So there is incredible amount of content, not just in sports, but anything you touch, there is a lot of content.
This is why it was interesting to include you in the Media Top Startup Summit, because looking from the outside in, seeing that you're coming from a platform that caters directly to the sports industry and at the basic level helping them manage leagues and tournaments and players, etc. But then there's this component of what you just mentioned, that being able to, when you control those environments and when you're on the field filming and when you're working directly with the team, enabling to basically help them record content, distribute content, do a lot of things that they've created from their matches, as you just mentioned, it seems like it just opens up this massive amounts of opportunities within the media realm of what you can actually do with that content. And at the baseline, being able to help a lot of the teams at least record it and distribute it. But going further, it seems like you guys have plans for creating a media brand or something along the lines of what you can do with a lot of the content that you built. Is that true? Do you guys have plans for that in the future?
At the moment, we are focusing on building our brand globally, and we have ability to reach to people across these 56 countries, and we are adding more and more countries on a regular basis. So for us to be able to build our brand, putting that content that is highly engaging on our brand gives us the best visibility to our brand. So that's what we've been focusing on. This strategy has really worked for us because we were able to go to basically any ICC associate member, any country, and they recognize Cricket Clubs as a leading league management and live streaming provider. So that strategy worked very well in establishing ourselves as a leader. So that is the direction that we would like to head. We'll have to see what future holds for us, but absolutely, that is the direction we are heading.
It seems as though in this context, because a lot of, again, you mentioned at the very, very beginning of this conversation, is that media sometimes tends to seem like it's evolving into a feature. And for you guys, media is a feature that you've leveraged the content that you've created to drive business back to your league management and academy management tools that you provide to a lot of these clubs and organizations. So from your standpoint, media really is a feature. And do you feel as though that actually is the feature? Do you think that actually could be in a product of itself, a lot of the content that you create? Or do you think long-term it will still be that feature that really just helps enable, build out the bigger sports management platform that you're focused on today?
Absolutely. There is no doubt that media is actually a feature, not a product. If you look at Cricket Clubs, the ecosystem that we built cannot stand on its own. You have league management, scoring, both of them go hand in hand because we need to know what the teams are and who are playing, what the scores are. And then we are able to tie that back into our live streaming to be able to make that live streaming dynamic with the graphic overlays. So from a Cricket Club standpoint, we are very uniquely placed to be able to bring all the moving components within our ecosystem together to actually deliver media more of a feature rather than product. And that is basically where the engagement comes into play. Without just showing a cricket match for 4 hours straight with no overlays on it and no insights is not going to be interesting content. And that is where it becomes a feature. So players not only are able to, fans not only are able to see the media, but also consume the media from real-time insights and so on. So now, when you take that media content out and apply artificial intelligence to be able to generate highlights at a player level, match level, and a team level, that generates more very interesting content. And that is basically why I consider media more of a product, more of a feature rather than a product.
The biggest trends that we're seeing for even in the sports content category within the conference, or not just sports content, but any type of content, the big focus one of the overarching trends is how to make content more interactive and more engaging beyond just the static format. And for a lot of companies, it takes a lot of extra effort to build some form of engagement features on top of that. And even if as a traditional media company licensing content, distributing that, you having to build out interesting features on top that would drive engagement or be very careful about how you curate content. But you guys have been able to build interactive content because you started from the sports league management, sports management realm, really focused on the needs of the actual players, that gets into scoring, that gets into the statistics of the players. And then you've had that media as a feature and a component of that because you're working directly with the teams and creating content and distributing it. But then you can now add a lot of that interactive content or interaction or engagement or tools that make your content more interactive and engaging because you have all these other extra features and tools in the background, which is your league management, candidate management tools. So I think it's why it's so interesting is because for this conference, media is hard to define anymore because it's blends so much with so many other industries and categories in sports. And I think you guys are just a fantastic example of showcasing that. But you guys have a lot of power, but the amount of content that you have, which is, I think is really interesting long-term for you guys. I want to take a step back and just ask some more general market questions and get your thoughts on the sports industry and a couple other things. My first thoughts is, how do you think sports content consumption is changing?
I think it is definitely changing, absolutely changing. And in the past, for you to consume sports content, you have to go visit a field or a stadium. And now I think pandemic basically accelerated everything, turned consumption of sports content upside down with live streams coming to you, even the way some of the biggest networks are operating and ability to watch games on your mobile phone, be able to interact is just dramatically different. If you look at what Disney Plus is doing, they are bringing family members to watch a movie that are sitting, across the world, to be able to watch together and have fun, just like you would all get together and go to a movie theater. So that is the type of innovation that is happening out there. And I think that is slowly coming into the sports as well. Even if you look at what is happening with IPL more recently, they had to organize the games with no players in the stadium. And when you have that, you actually have to bring in virtual fans to the stadium and be able to put very engaging content together. So now, what is unique from a Cricket Club standpoint is we are not only able to capture that content, but able to process that content and make it even more dynamic digitally and personalize it for a given player. And I think that is very powerful because we know the statistics of a player, we know where the match is heading, and we are then able to derive features out of that video and generate more content that can be very engaging. Absolutely, it's less of physical these days. It's quite a bit dynamic and digital.
You're starting to build more into engaging. You guys have almost perfected the teams and the league management side. And now as you have more content, you're really starting to build out what I argue is a deeper connection with the fans of cricket. And I think that kind of evolves over time. And Ganesh, we were talking a little bit about it earlier before the interview about how that could even evolve into a social network maybe, or some type of social interaction that can really carry things forward, especially as you have this dynamic content. So it's going to be interesting and exciting what you guys can do with this. I wanted to ask you, because I have to ask, this past year we've been living through a pandemic, and I'm just curious, has the pandemic affected your company or the cricket leagues at all?
The entire sports industry has been severely affected in 2020. It basically came to a standstill. Very little cricket was played both at international level and grassroots level. The good news is that we are now starting to see the activity pick up to a point where we were analyzing the data that we have. The level of activity on both on our digital platform and on equipment and custom apparel orders that we are receiving are comparable to the pre-pandemic level. So that is very exciting for us because we already know some markets have basically opened up to sports and entertainment. And in the US, it is not fully open, but we see a lot of people wanting to get out and enjoy cricket. The other side of pandemic is in some ways, it ended up giving us opportunity to just take a step back and refine our strategy and focus. And that gave us opportunity to build a few products. One of them that I mentioned earlier was academy management. So we launched our academy management just before pandemic, but during pandemic, we were able to talk to a lot of cricket academies that were not so busy organizing academies because they were under the quarantine lockdowns. We were able to talk to them and refine our product further. We were able to develop a fantasy solution to put a fantasy spin at the grassroots cricket. That's the other thing. And we were also able to shift our focus, like I was mentioning, to a player and a fan. And we now resharpened our focus and our strategy around player and fan, and that the media app that you're talking about, which is very close to being released this spring, is the outcome of it. So in some ways, pandemic was very challenging. However, it also gave us time to breathe, take a step back, and resharpen our focus and build things that are even more exciting.
That's really great news, taking that opportunity to really focus in on the product and perfect it in ways, and excited for what's going to happen this spring.
People won't really, if we talk anything good coming out of pandemic, but it's difficult to say everything is terrible because we are blessed to spend more time with family, and Crick Clubs as a company was very blessed to just have that opportunity to continue to operate in challenging times, but also be able to put things that we always wanted to do but never found time. We were able to find that time.
Absolutely. No, there's always seems to be like a silver lining that everyone tends to find in these moments, which I think is a really great thing overall. Last question that I had for you, gentlemen, before we close out. Again, I really appreciate you taking the extra time with me today. Where do you think is the future of sports management going, and what do you see that most people don't?
There are quite a few shifts that we are seeing, and the evolution of Crick Clubs as a company has always been centered around the feedback that we receive from the global community that we serve. And as part of that shift, we respond to the shifts that are coming towards our side in the sports management. So the first shift that we are seeing is centered around player and fan engagement. So if you look at how cricket in India has evolved, 4 years ago, people were not really into fantasy cricket. I know that in the US, a lot of fans play fantasy football and fantasy baseball and so on and so forth. That fantasy became a big deal in India now in the last couple of years. So a lot of focus on players and fan engagement, and media definitely plays a big role there. So fans and players really want to consume content that is a bit more customized to them. So not just generic content, but if you're able to, if I am a player or I am a fan and I want to see the content very specific to my profile or my taste, I think that is something that is shift coming from the social media down to the sports management is what we are seeing. Second, there is a lot of focus on digitization and leveraging the power of analytics, data analytics. This was only available for the highest levels of cricket in the past. If you went and asked, how does the data look like for the national cricket team for India, I think that data is easily accessible. But if you go and ask the same thing for a local grassroots level cricket league, the organizer will never be able to provide you that level of data because digitization was not a thing. And with that, those are some of the things that we are shifting now. Everybody wants a digital platform. Everybody wants scores to be recorded digitally and be able to leverage the power of data analytics so they can not only understand how their league is operating, but the players can understand how they are performing under various circumstances and be able to improve their game. Selectors want the data to be able to select the right people. Coaches want the data to be able to fine tune the players further. So a center of everything that sports management is about is the power of data analytics. So that's definitely coming to grassroots as we see.
Well, this is great, gentlemen. I really appreciate it. Before I close out, is there anything else that you'd like to share, announce, or do you have any asks of the audience?
Thank you so much, Kyle, for the opportunity. Very excited to be here and be talking about some of our accomplishments. And we are very fortunate to be among very few players that excelled at live streaming of cricket at grassroots level. We started this in the US in 2017 when there is very little cricket being live streamed. And now we have basically shifted that to a point where everybody wants to have their matches live streamed on social media. So that's a very cool shift. And that also gave us the opportunity to think about how else can we engage players, how else can we engage fans and make it easy for us to deliver these live streams. And that's where we shifted our thinking around player and fan and came up with a mobile app to be able to do live streaming very easily on one end of the spectrum. And the other end of the spectrum is the Crick Streamer product that for us to be able to capture quality video and be able to apply analytics on top of it while overlaying the live streams with graphics real time. So I think AI is certainly something that we continue to focus on and be able to generate that dynamic content that we spoke about. There's a lot of opportunity there, and we always look for opportunities to partner with folks that are out there that already excel in AI video analytics. And as a company, we also have a lot of goals for ourselves in terms of accelerating our innovation and be able to take the products that we build to the mass markets. Cricket is played in many countries, and that also requires capital for us to be able to accelerate. So we are also always on the lookout for opportunities to accelerate our growth by adding additional capital to our company. Overall, we are very excited, fortunate to be able to come out successfully at the end of the pandemic year, and very excited to actually come out with more products in our suite, and look forward to serving the community and continue to innovate and take grassroots level to the next level.
Well, this is awesome, gentlemen. I really appreciate you taking the time to chat. And again, for the audience, why we had this conversation. Looked at a lot of companies in the video streaming space, but we brought Cricut Clubs into this conversation because you are a fantastic example of kind of showing how the world of media tends to blend with consumer products or services or technology products in a variety of different verticals. In this case, it's sports and specifically cricket, but how you've taken your core product of building out a leagues management and now academy management tool and using that as a tool. And from that, you're building out a tremendous amount of content that you can not only distribute on the league's behalf, but also taking content, building on analytics on top of that, and then being able to have more dynamic content that you can provide for fans that drives up more engagement back to these leagues. You guys cover so many categories. You're in both video distribution, you're in video platform and tools, you're in video analytics. At the same time, you're part of the content category as well. So it's even hard to place you in video streaming or even in the media category as a whole, because the bigger picture is that you have these bigger league management tools. You've got even as far as providing apparel, you provide this on-field support, you have these cameras and custom equipment that you can offer. And then you're going to even do more with even the leagues and fantasy sports. So and that's in the gaming realm as well. So I think you're a fantastic example that kind of sets the tone as how media can really be a feature in a bigger vision, a bigger goal, especially for building out an incredible ecosystem around sports. And for now, could be crickets, maybe in the future might be more. But it's fantastic what you guys have done. So thank you again so much for taking the time to do this. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Kyle. Very excited to be here.
Thank you, Kyle.